guys have found another edition of the Chief Six to Take podcast show. This is the second YouTube live edition of the show that we have done. If this is your first time watching, we are the only multi-generational podcast show of Philadelphia sports fans. I'm here, Colby Marshall, here with my father, Troy Marshall, and my uncle, Chuck Butler, where we are going to be talking Eagles today after their disappointing Monday night loss against the Chargers. We're going to be talking about a little bit of the Sixers and some college basketball too, with a big slate of games on tonight. Me and my father are big-time North Carolina basketball fans, so we're going to talk about the Tar Heels on this episode a whole bunch. But make sure you guys like, subscribe, follow us on social media. Let us know what you think. Continue to follow the journey as we get closer to the NFL playoffs and with a quarter of the way into the NBA season. It's a lot of college basketball to be played. But fellas, let's get into the Eagles first after their 22-19 defeat against the LA Chargers, the battle of two 8-4 teams on Monday night. Eagles struggled offensively. What a surprise, right? The 5 turnovers were a big talking point pretty much all day today after that game. Jalen Hurts, I don't think I've seen him play a worse game. This was probably the worst game I've seen him play, but I want to hear what you thought about the game as a whole, Dad. What'd you think?
I think that, and this may, let me know if this doesn't make sense, all right? But Jalen Hurts was the biggest reason why we lost this game. Obviously the turnovers, but more so for me, it was the missed receivers, all the receivers that he missed down the field. This guy's running open again, and it happens every game. I think with every quarterback, but we're continuing to see it more and more with Jalen. He by far he was the biggest reason why they lost the game. The main reason that they lost the game, to me, is the biggest and the main are two different things. The main reason continues to be the lack of creativity, the lack of adjustments, and the lack of intelligence on the offensive side of the ball. The turnovers, and like when I say intelligence, here's what I mean. At the end of the first half, there's a minute left in the first half, we have the ball on the Chargers 2-yard line, 1st and goal. And the one play that they run is the same play that 6-7 weeks ago we said on this podcast they should take that play out of the playbook. And it's just simple shotgun, hand off to Barkley right up the gut of the defense. They're stacking the box, yet you continue to run this play. I'm not even calling for a push there, right? During the course of the game, and I believe it was Aikman that had mentioned it, under center, the Eagles averaged 12 yards per play. In the shotgun, they averaged 4 yards per play. Why are you running that play under the shotgun? Just get under center, hand it off to Barkley so he can come downhill, run it in for the 2 yards. That's just stupidity, in my opinion, right? I think for the whole game, the Eagles ran 51 plays on the shotgun, and they ran 15 under center. And I think by the end of the game, the stats were more or less like 10 yards per play under center, and still about 4 yards per play in the shotgun. It makes no sense. Chuck, to your point early on, they can't read how the game is going, and they can't make adjustments. When I say early on, I mean early on in the year. They don't make adjustments. They don't attack the defense. Whatever the defense doesn't do well, they don't attack it. And you just see it for every single game. It's just stupid football, in my opinion. What do you have to say about that, Chuck?
So I found it interesting, though, Troy. I didn't think he would come out that way. Because believe it or not, one, I totally agree with you about Jalen. He was the biggest reason why he wasn't the main reason, but I thought the offense showed a little creativity and it kept the Chargers off balance for a little while.
Give me a play.
I thought that it was a lot of just Jalen not, and You got to throw AJ in there as well.
Oh, AJ had a horrible game.
Yeah, not really. I hate, people use this term a lot, but executing the offense. I thought that there was some creativity. I thought they kept them off balance with the run.
Well, listen,
The run
think
seemed
I,
effective.
I think the creativity, the creativity. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but the creativity that you're probably talking about is just them being under center more. That's not really
Yeah.
creative. That's just something they should have been doing all year long, right?
Yeah,
You
but
give the ball to Barkley on the center. He gets 2 first downs back to back.
yeah,
You give the ball to Barkley, I don't know, 13 times in the first half, and you give it to him 5 in the second half.
yeah,
And
it was
listen,
a,
15.
yeah, and then the touchdown was off a trick play, basically,
yeah.
right? It's like,
Yeah,
to
I
me,
mean,
it's
that's
just
a good
they're
point.
just running the same shit.
Yeah, I think the offense, the play calling wasn't really cohesive. I thought the plays were a little bit more, they just seemed different than they were
Okay,
before. So I agree with you. The main culprit was really like just the offense as a whole. That could
right.
be Sirianni, that could be the OC, it could be, I don't know, the players. But
Stoutland too, man. Listen,
Stoutland, yeah, you got to take some of the
Stoutland,
heat too.
listen, he's the offensive line coach and the run game coordinator. Somewhere,
Yeah,
the way they coach, or the way the players play, they play like the coaches have no communication during the week.
yeah.
Each coach has their own separate room, and they're just doing their own thing, and they're not talking. I know that's not the case. It can't be the case
So
for a football team, but that's the way they play, and that's the way they coach. They don't Nothing's cohesive on that team. And I think I mentioned in our chat during the game that this was the worst that I've seen the offensive line play. They really cannot hold a block. And when they
yeah,
do hold the block, they're actually holding.
yeah.
I think the
Good point.
criticism of the offense just reflects how much we score. I think when Noah mentioned when we were talking about the Cowboys that there was a cap of how much they were going to score, and it was at 21, and they never scored after that. And in many ways, you
Yeah.
can see that reflection here in this game against the Chargers. There was a cap of how
Well,
much we scored, and we just never got through.
we're not mentioning Noah's name right now. I've heard on a podcast this morning, I think out of the last 8 games, I think they've scored 20 points
Once.
twice. Is it
Oh,
once?
twice, yeah.
Might
I
have
think
been
it was twice.
I mean, sheesh, guys. Like, I don't know. I know, in our chat this afternoon, I was kind of like, well, Troy, just to kind of like end what you were saying, I totally agree with you, both sides of the ball. I guess what I'm saying is, I mean, not both sides of the ball, like with the offense being like the main culprit. Jalen was the biggest reason they
Hmm.
lost the game. I love the way you put that. I just saw some things in the offense that looked a little different, and I thought that
And
was
that's fair.
kind of encouraging. I said if they can get
Right.
away with this win, maybe it's something.
But let me ask you a
But
question, Chuck. Even if they won, and Colby and Drew, even if they won, would you come away feeling good about this game? If Jalen somehow became the hero and pulled it out with the last pass play, which to me the last pass play was just, it was idiotic. He didn't need to throw the ball. Forget that it was intercepted. He just didn't need to throw that ball. But let's just say, for shits and giggles, he completed the pass. Would you have felt good about this game? A
yeah,
win is a win.
a
A
win's
win
a
is a
win.
win,
I
but
would have.
A win is a win against a good 8-4 Chargers team, but no, you wouldn't have felt good because he still played one of the worst games of his career, and the play calling has been what it's been all year long in that game. Like they had, like you said, they had that one touchdown play, the 50-yard trick play, and that was the only touchdown they scored in the game. The entire first half was 2 interceptions, a couple of field goals, 3 and outs, 6 and outs. That was it.
yeah.
So it would have been hard to feel good about that game, even if they won. But in the National Football League, a win is a win. They would have been 9-4. They would have beat a good Chargers team. So there are parts of you that would have felt good, I think. But
I don't know.
yeah,
I would have
I think I'm at a. Go ahead, Sean.
no. I think I would have felt. I would think I would have felt okay. The running game looked like it was, getting back on track. That would have been encouraging. You're going to get if they had the defense is to me it's just looking great, and that was without Jalen Carter.
mhm.
You got why am I drawing a blank on his name? What's our right tackle that's been out?
Lane Johnson.
Lane Johnson.
Lane Johnson's coming back. So if they would have got out of there, a good team on the road, won that game, knowing you're getting like two of your like, stellar pieces back eventually, I would have been happy with a win. And I got to be honest, I am like a little nervous that Dallas is right there. Like if the Eagles go, how many games they have left?
They have 4 left.
They have 4 left. So I think the Eagles go 2-2 and Dallas wins out. Dallas wins the division. Eagles might not even make the playoffs. So yeah, I would have been happy with it. I would have been like really happy. Better than when I woke up this morning. I would have been happy with the win.
I don't think the Eagles deserve. I don't think either team deserves to make the playoffs. To be honest
Troy,
with
you
you,
said something. Troy, you said something. I asked you a question, I think maybe last pod, about do you look at the season as, well, we won a Super Bowl last year, it'd be okay, or do you think it's a wasted opportunity? You said it's a wasted opportunity, and I've been thinking about that, and I think you're totally right.
mm-hmm.
There's no really dominant team in the NFC.
Now
Like,
in the NFC or the AFC, not one.
or the AFC. I hate that. I know you don't want to hear this.
You guys don't think the Patriots are dominant?
No.
No,
I know you don't
not
want to hear
yet.
this.
I mean, listen, they're a good team. Don't get me wrong, they're a good team, but they have to prove it in the playoffs. Every team has to prove it in the playoffs. But when I look across the landscape, there's not an NFC team to me that I'm afraid of, and there's not an AFC team that I'm afraid of. The only team I'm afraid of is my own team. I'm
Yeah.
afraid of them. I don't know I kind of know what offense is going to show up. But it's a wasted opportunity because, like you said, there's no dominant team in this league, and it's a
There's no
shame.
dominant team. There's no dominant.
It's a shame.
I do want to say, just to kind of get on the other side of the ball, the Eagles' defense is really good.
Really good.
And that is
They're
like
being wasted.
it's being wasted, but they're young.
But Chuck, you
They're
don't
just
know,
going to get
like
better.
right now, correct. But we're pretty much relatively healthy, right? You don't know how long that health is
Yeah.
going to last with
Good
certain
point.
players.
That's a
So
good point.
you have to take advantage of the opportunities when they present themselves, right? And the
Yeah.
offense is just completely letting them down. And listen,
Yeah.
it starts with Sirianni and Patullo and Hurts, but now it's just trickling down to everyone else. AJ Brown's that was an uncharacteristic performance by him, but honestly, it's par for the course for this year with this offense. You threw a touchdown, he catches a touchdown pass, it gets called back for offensive holding. Jalen Hurts runs for like 35, 40 yards, and he gets called back for the same thing. Same player. And Jordan. No, I'm sorry. That long run was Tyler Steen, I think it was.
Yeah.
And the touchdown pass being called back was Mailata. But they're just it's like every week it's someone different, or it's like a certain part of the team, it's their turn to F it up for everyone else.
Yeah.
That's what it seems like every week.
And I think you're right, Dad. I think they're all these little things. Jalen Hurts not playing well, AJ's bad game. To an extent, I think they're all little microcosms of the bigger issue in the offensive coordinator and the coaching staff on the offensive side. Just hasn't been good enough.
Nope.
Just hasn't been good enough.
Yeah. I mean, before we leave off the Eagles, though, let's just give the defense a little bit of flowers. I think
No,
they played great.
I'm not going to give
they
them too
did.
many flowers, Chuck. I'm not going to give them too many flowers. I mean, let's
They
not forget
they
they got gashed last week against the Bears.
but you know but you know what,
Like,
Kobe, they did get gashed, but but in the fourth quarter they only gave up 10 points. Even though they got gashed, but in the beginning of the fourth quarter, the score was 10-9. They gave every opportunity to the offense to take over that game, and they couldn't do it. They gave every opportunity to the offense to take over this game yesterday, and they still couldn't do it. So, like, the only thing that's frustrating about the defense is that they don't seem to contain very well on the outsides as far as like the runs are concerned. Like the second a running back is on the outside, he looks good. Well, I shouldn't say that. They couldn't contain Justin Herbert in a couple of those runs. They had him for sacks. They let him squirrel away, and he runs for like 15, 20 yards, getting first downs like on like I think 3 separate third downs. It was frustrating. So I
Yeah,
mean,
frustrating.
they're not without blame, but they are by far the best unit of this team, probably the best defensive unit in the NFC. I think you could put them up there. That you can argue that point. There's a lot of decent units and
Listen,
defensive
I'm
units in
not
the
saying
NFC.
Yeah,
I'm not saying
definitely.
they're perfect. I'm not saying they're perfect. What
Right.
I'm saying is they are like holding this team together. Like the last
Yes, they are.
last two drives that the Chargers had, they held them to field goals, and one was like a 53-yard field goal. Like they're
Yep.
just out on the field too long.
I guess
So
what
yeah, they're
I
not
guess
perfect. They're going to have games like they had against the Bears, against a really talented offensive coordinator. And if you're on the field too long, you're going to get exposed. It's just going to happen. But I thought they played. I thought they played well. Last night they played well enough to win that game. Going away, I think they played well enough to if the offense would have just showed up.
Definitely.
Um, yeah, I think I love Nakobe, and I really hope they re-sign him. But that he had a missed opportunity with that sack that kind of like he kind of whiffed a little bit. He kind of hit him,
Hmm.
and Herbert got away from it. So, but I'm still encouraged about the defense. It's like the one unit I'm not really worried about. I guess that and special team now that Covey's back, I'm not worried about really that much either. But it's just the offense. Troy, did you change your mind about Herbert at all watching him last night with his one hand?
He played with a lot of heart. I like, as far as him, like the way he quarterback. Listen, he in many respects he played worse than Jalen did. As far as like his passing game went, what did he throw for? 138 yards, something like that.
Yeah,
yeah,
I
but
think he was going against a better defense, but yeah,
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
and
Listen,
he had one hand, Troy.
he had one hand. Listen, I give it to him. He played with a lot of heart to play with that one hand. They were trying to bang into it as much as they possibly could, and he still stuck it out. So like, hats off to him. Hats off to him.
Yeah,
Am I
yeah.
going to put money down on him if they make the playoffs? Hell no, I'm not going to do that.
Mm.
And a part of the
Yeah.
reason why I'm not giving the Eagles defense too many flowers is because I expected them to do what they did against the Chargers with their O-line being so depleted, with Justin Herbert not being 100%. Like I expected them to ball out and to shut them down. And that's what they did, and give credit where credit is due. But I was alluding to the fact that I expected, that to happen.
Hmm.
Okay, I can see that.
But
But
make no mistake about it.
I'm giving
Make
them
no
some
mistake.
grace with the Bears game. Hey, they can't like we mentioned. Why can't the offense bail them out occasionally? Why can't that
Not
happen?
That's
Why
not
can't
going to
they have
happen
a
this year
bad game and the offense bail them out?
because the
So I'm
offense
not,
plays
I'm not
too
giving them.
conservative.
Yeah, you're right.
They're too
You're right.
conservative.
But they can have a bad game. Like they're not they're not perfect,
Nope.
but they're
Nope. You're
playing
right.
well enough for the Eagles to win
Mm-hmm.
in this every game that they lost in this 3-game stretch. They played well enough to win.
Yeah, like I
The
don't.
offense didn't show up.
The Eagles, in my opinion, one team beat the Eagles this year, and that was the Giants. The New York Giants beat the Eagles this year. Every other
You don't
team,
think Chicago?
no, like you said, Chuck, we just said they were up 10-9 in the fourth quarter. The Eagles had every opportunity on offense to win that game, but you had Barkley fumble and at the 30-yard line, right?
Mhm.
Jalen Hurts was throwing interceptions and fumbling. Like, no, like we lost that game. Every game that we lost outside of the Giants, it was because of us. It wasn't because the other team
Yeah.
was better than us or just flat out beat us. The Giants flat out beat us. They kicked our ass. That's the only team to me.
So for me, I would throw the Chicago game in there, but I just
Okay.
want to say that's why I wasn't trying to give, when we had the Green Bay
Right.
fans on and we had Shelly
Mhm.
on, I wasn't trying to give us, our respect or give us credit. Like I wasn't trying to give credit because it's the Eagles offense that's really like
Yeah.
they're losing the games.
Yep.
To put it, the other team's not winning. The Eagles offense is losing the games.
Yep.
Do you guys want to have a quick discussion about they
Jalen?
change their quarterback?
Sure. we can
Listen,
have one.
during the game when we were talking about it,
Mhm.
I said that they should put Tanner McKee in just to
Mhm.
see what it would look like.
For a series or for like the rest of the game?
Not during that game, so to speak, but in general, I was saying that they should play him to see what it would look like, whether that be maybe a series in that game or to start next week. That was my mindset during the game. After the game, I changed my mind. I don't think that they should move away from Jalen, but I would be curious to see if it would look any different with Tanner McKee, who, listen, we haven't seen anything from him really in the regular season. We've seen a couple of good preseason games from him. So like Noah said in the chat, I don't know if that would move the needle for this team at this point. Jalen still gives you the best chance to win, but the way that this offense is constructed, I've always fought the notion that Jalen is a system quarterback. You know how people say, oh, he's a system quarterback, he can only do this and that. But I feel like that's the truth. And it shouldn't be an insult. Like, he's not going to beat teams with his arm. He's not going to improvise the way that Josh Allen, Lamar, Joe Burrow do. I shouldn't say Joe Burrow, maybe those two, the way they improvise and create something out of nothing. Like, he's not that type of player. You can't just put him anywhere and he's going to, do what he did in, say 2022, that season that he had. He's not that type of guy. And I don't think it's an insult. It's just
no, it's not. You're right.
And the way that they line up a lot of times on offense, it's like, okay, Jalen, like, go get us this drive. Like, the play calling does not help him out.
And Colby, it's a great point. That's a great point, son. And to add on to it, it's not just you can't put him in any offense. You just can't have any coach in front of him calling plays for him or coaching him. You can't just get any quarterbacks coach off the street, any offensive coordinator, any kind of head coach. I don't think Sirianni is the right coach for Jalen, but Shane Steichen was the perfect offensive coordinator for him. Kellen Moore was a better coordinator for him than Sirianni was as a coach for Jalen, I believe, right? So if you take those two guys away, you better have somebody. You better replace them with someone where there's some type of mutual respect and some type of idea of how to play this, how to use this man to his full potential. And right now, obviously, that's not happening right now. So, I mean, it's a great point, son. I don't really know what else to say.
And it's like, why change it if you can't do the right things around Hurts? What makes you think they're going to do the right things around Tanner McKee?
It won't.
Yeah, so
they won't.
I don't want they can't yank Hurts out of the game. They can't do that. I mean, what I like Jalen to like pull a hammy and like
Chuck,
miss a week
Chuck, it's happened
just
before.
to like see what Tanner McKee could do? Yeah, that'd
It's
be
happened
nice.
before, Chuck.
That's
happened
insane.
before.
Yeah, but he's making
Not with Hurts. Not with Hurts.
Troy, he's making
Not
a
with
quarter
Hurts.
of $1 billion.
I
It's a
understand
little
that, but
different.
we did it with McNabb. We did it with McNabb. Andy Reid took him out for a couple of series when he was struggling one game, and put him right back in.
Yeah, but I don't know. Has he like that whole era, like
Listen,
that particular era? Was he ever the same?
I wouldn't have done it. Yeah, he was the same. I think it was the same year they went
You
to
think so?
the NFC title game against Arizona. I believe it was that same year. Anyway,
Okay.
I could be wrong, but anyway, yeah, I get it. Like in this day and age, you're not going to sit a $250 million quarterback on the bench. You got to live with them. And you know what? And I think that could be an issue. Like right now, Jalen's looking around like, yeah, I'm playing bad, but there's really nobody breathing down my neck to replace me. Like I know I'm not going to be replaced.
That would be
So
a circus, though, Troy. That would be such a circus if that
no,
happened.
I agree. I agree. I'm not saying you should. I'm not saying you should.
Cope, I want to go back to your system. I don't want to like beat this down, but I love the way you put it. Like it's too much of a stigma on like when people say, "Oh, he's a system quarterback." The system should revolve around the quarterback to
Correct.
to some
Right.
extent. Like if Matt Stafford was like if the offense coordinator for the Rams were like, "Oh, Matt Stafford, you got to run RPOs," and he
He's
doesn't
getting crushed.
do it well,
He's going to get crushed.
they're not going to blame. They shouldn't blame Matt Stafford for that because that's not him. That's not what he does.
Right.
So Jalen, whatever they need to like, he has ability. That
Yeah.
offense should be whatever that is. He needs to run a little bit more. They need to run RPOs. I think they mentioned in the game yesterday, like their yards per play under center was like 4 times higher than when they were in shotgun. Find out what and I can't believe we're saying this because they won a Super Bowl last year, and he's been with this head coach who's an offensive head coach for 4 years. Like, find out what he does well and just do those things. So,
Like, yeah.
and that's the system. I don't know how to. I don't know. It seems so simple. I don't know. Like, there's a lot of that smarter people than me, and doing this, but it seems so simple. But they make it seem so hard.
Make
not
it seem
rocket
very
science.
hard.
It's not rocket science. It's not brain surgery. It's coaching
No.
football.
Yeah.
And
Like, when was
you're
the
right,
last
Chuck.
time-
We make everything more difficult. Go ahead. Son.
When was the last time we saw Jalen Hurts run a successful RPO where he fakes the handoff and keeps it and runs for 10 yards? I can't remember.
You
I
mean
don't know.
like Herbert was doing yesterday?
Like Justin Herbert, he made
was
a
killing
great
us with that.
read. Yeah,
He's
he
killing
made a
us with
great
that.
read in the fourth quarter when everyone thought Vidal was getting that rock, and he kept it. But that was something that was a staple in Hurts's game in 2022. It was a staple, and they don't use it.
No.
And it just goes to show they have the wrong system around him on this team.
Yeah.
And like you said, Chuck, he has capability. We know he can make those high percentage throws. We know that he has the leadership. He has the mental toughness, the confidence. He has all the intangibles.
You know what,
And
Chuck?
we've seen
I
it.
mean, Colby, son, I don't know if he has the confidence anymore. And what I mean, I think he has confidence in himself. I don't think he has confidence in the offense nor the coaching. And I
That's
think
fair.
it's manifesting itself on the field, and it's trickling down to everyone else. I don't think he definitely does not have confidence in the offensive line. There was a play in the second half where he was running out to his left, trying
And
to
he looked-
avoid a sack, and he looked back like he was seeing ghosts. I'm like,
yeah.
why are you looking back? You should be looking up the field to see who's open. But you
Yeah.
know what? That's a lack of confidence in his line. He has no idea what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if we're going to do
You-
another podcast before the Raiders game. We may or may not, depending on how we're feeling. Any this as we move away from the Eagles, any predictions, thoughts about what they're going to do against the Raiders?
They should beat the Raiders
They need-
because the Raiders are
They need
the Raiders
You
are
damn right they should
ass.
beat the Raiders.
Listen, if there's
No, but-
any game, go ahead, Drew.
No, I was going to say just communication. This just seems to be the theme of the conversation, whether it's communication from the coaches or even communication from Jalen Hurts trying to coordinate some type of offense against the Chargers. Even though you may have mentioned some type of diversity within the offense, in this game, as per maybe the last couple games they lost, I think Colby's right. We can't give them any slack. We haven't had any big gaps against any other opponent in a long time. Not since I think maybe the first Giants game or whatever. So we had such a big gap. The first win we had against them. That's about it.
I have. Sure, I see. I understand what you're saying, Drew, but I have no. Yeah, they should beat the Raiders. They'll probably do it, but guess what? We're gonna do a podcast. We're gonna be super frustrated because the offense looked terrible and they squeaked out like a 4-point win, and it's gonna be super frustrating. That's what's gonna happen.
And the W's a W, but the problem is we haven't seen a W in a while now. So it's just like now all other teams are saying a W's against us, and that doesn't feel good, especially when we play bad against a team that we should have beaten.
Yeah, we can all agree they're going to beat we think they're going to beat the Raiders, but I just don't. I don't think it's going to be like a get right game. I don't see that happening.
It's a we need
I think
communication.
I think they beat the Raiders and lose the rest of the season.
If that's the case, then they're not making the playoffs. Troy.
No, they shouldn't. They don't deserve to. Yeah. They literally don't deserve to make the playoffs. What do you want to see this team in the playoffs?
I don't. Yes. Detroit, listen to me.
I don't care about Dallas. I don't care.
I don't want Dallas in the playoffs. Troy, we just said that anybody could win. Dallas could win the Super Bowl if they just got in.
It's Dallas we're talking.
Would you agree?
No.
I think they could beat. I think they could beat anybody.
I think they could.
I don't
think they would because like you said, it is
they
Dallas.
Could, but they won't because they're Dallas. It's Dallas. It's Jerry Jones cursed that team the same way that Hal Katz cursed the Sixers. He kicked Jerry Jones kicked what's his name out of the building, Jimmy Johnson. And that was it for them.
I think if Dallas wins the division, they will be the third seed, I guess. They get a home game. Yeah, they could certainly win. The conference is not that tough. Dallas could play with. I don't want to talk about it. I feel like I'm super Dallas up. To answer your question, I want the Eagles to, even if they lose in the first round, I just want them to get in the playoffs, win the division. It hasn't been a back-to-back win in the division has happened in like 20-something years. Win a division, first round bye. I'll be upset, but I'll take it. First round loss. I'm sorry, first round loss, and I'll be fine.
All right.
And honestly, guys, if there's a game they put it all together, it's probably this game against the Raiders. When you think about how the running game got going this past week, right? How AJ's been getting going, but this past game, Jalen had his worst game. Like, different things have been going well for the offense while like other things don't. So if they could just put it together, this would be the game against the Las Vegas Raiders.
Colby,
this would be the game.
Get that out of your brain. Colby, get that out of your brain. It's not going to happen. They're going to squeak by the Raiders. They're going to. It's not going to happen. They're going to squeak by, and we're going to be complaining.
Colby, I don't think there's a get right game for them this year.
It is not.
There's no get right.
I mean, ideally it should be, but it won't be. Yeah,
and you want to get right game. You have to. Some heads are going to have to roll tomorrow.
Here's what I'm hoping. I hope Jalen just pulls a little hammy in practice. Just a little hammy. Keep him out a week. Just to take it like his as a variable. Just take him out of the equation. Put Tanner McKee in there, and if Tanner McKee struggles, is not the quarterback. Let's just start pulling some things out of the equation. That's all I want. But this is going to be a struggle. I'm not even going to. I think we got a Christmas thing going on Sunday. I might not even watch the game. I'll see how it goes. I'll watch it, but I won't watch it.
Howard.
We'll definitely see how it goes. But fellas, want to transition into the next topic. We're going to talk about some college basketball, with North Carolina being the 14th ranked team in the nation at this point in time, led by one of the best freshmen in the country. Dad, we've been watching a lot. You watched the Georgetown game. I did not get to catch that game where they beat Georgetown by 20. But we both have been watching North Carolina pretty consistently. Chuck has not been watching college basketball at all. Drew, I don't know how much college basketball you've been watching, but the Tar Heels look pretty good. Are they legit?
Yeah, they're legit. They're legit.
ACC contenders?
I do. This is the first North Carolina team I've seen in about 10 years that reminds me of a Dean Smith coach team, where they play a lot of high-low with the two bigs, Vassar and Caleb Wilson. And it's
Hold up,
pretty
Troy.
much offense is inside out first. What? Yes, Chuck.
Dean Smith is not coaching the Tar Heels
No,
right now?
Dean Smith is gone.
Oh, okay.
He's not of this
This is how caught up
this
Chuck
realm
is with
anymore.
college basketball. This
Yeah,
is
catch
crazy.
me up.
Unfortunately,
I'm like 20 years behind.
Yeah, the greatest coach of all time is no longer with us.
Okay.
But yeah, I actually
Relax.
enjoy watching
He won
this
2
team.
championships by accident.
by accident.
A Freddie Brown bad pass, and then a Chris Webber timeout.
Chuck, when you watch college basketball, remember Bobby Jones?
Yeah.
Wh-
You all remember
time
Bobby
Bobby Jones-
Jones?
Every time Bobby Jones scored, what did he do? He was the only player in the NBA to do this.
When he
pretty
scored?
much. Yeah. Right after he scored, he would turn up the court and he would do this. This
Oh
one
yeah, he
gesture.
would like
Point.
He would
Yeah, he
point
point, yeah.
to the guy that gave him an assist. That was Dean Smith. All of his players did that, right? When you see a college team during dead ball situations gather at the free throw line, there was only one team doing that at one point in time, and that was North Carolina Tar Heels. And the reason why is because Dean Smith wanted to save his timeouts for the end of the game. So in order to do that, anytime there was a dead ball, the point guard's job was to run over to Dean Smith, and he would get instructions for the next 5 minutes, how to run a defense, what defense to call, what they're going to run on offense. Rarely did he ever use a timeout.
Troy.
All these little
know what I
things.
don't like Dean Smith?
Also, he was the first coach to have the ACC integrated.
Let
It's
me
not
do
a big deal
the
to
let
you
me
right
do
now.
the
It's not a big deal
slowest.
to you right now.
Let me
but
do
in-
the
but in
slowest clap
But in
in the world.
1960, listen, I can go on and on about Dean Smith. I'm not. We don't have the time to do it, but just take my word for it. He's the greatest coach. Okay? He's the greatest coach.
I hated
Anyway,
the four corners.
anyway,
I hated the four corners.
The
It
four
drove
corners-
me crazy.
it drove everyone crazy because you couldn't stop it.
It was
You
pump
couldn't stop it.
basketball.
It was not. It was not. You're just picking the team
Give up.
apart.
You have the most talent in the nation, and you're running four corners. Troy,
Chuck,
I mean,
every
four
team, you
corners
didn't have
led
the
to
most talent in the
baskets.
nation. Every team had a lot of talent. What'd you say? What'd you say, son?
Four corners led to baskets in a lot of cases when the defense started
Yeah,
sleeping.
because he
led
never
to-
watched it.
It led
Smart.
to I'm scared the other team might come back. So let me get on the four. Let me go on four quarters.
Anyway, watching this North Carolina team reminds me of reminds me of when I was watching them as a teenager. The past few years, even a year when we went to the championship, what was that, 2018? 19, when
they
we
lost
beat
it.
Duke in the Final Four and we lost to Kansas?
That was 2021,
20.
2021.
You remember, I was not happy that whole year. The the team just got on a huge run
Right.
and play and like shot lights out up until the championship game. But like watching those squads, it was just so frustrating.
Yeah.
The guard play was just they would just come down, chuck it, not look for the big man, just stupid offense. Now I'm seeing some smart offense. I'm impressed with the job that Hubert Davis is doing. I'm glad he's doing his job because if he wasn't this year, this would be his last year, I think. So they're showing me a lot. I think they're underrated right now. They're ranked number 14. They're a good squad. They're a good squad.
Yeah.
I like the subtractions that we've had. Elliot Cadeau, you mentioned him before we hopped on a podcast. He's playing for Michigan now. Like I don't miss that guy at all. And I'm not saying the point guards that we have now are top-notch point guards, but it's just the way he played. He's like there were a lot of selfish guards in the past 4 or 5 years for Carolina, and it just affected the team in a negative way. Affected me in a negative way. And I'm not seeing that right now, which I love.
Yeah. That's interesting that you compare this team to the Dean Smith teams. Obviously, I didn't get to watch any of Dean Smith's led North Carolina team, so
Good for you.
I don't know how to compare those teams to this team. The guard play has made me nervous
Chuck, who's
this
your
year.
favorite coach? Louis Cornseca?
My favorite coach, I like Jerry Tarkanian. I like that
Turk was nice. I
style
like.
of basketball.
Now listen, Turk. He had some talent on his squads.
He had talent. Obviously,
He
John
had-
Thompson.
Right.
So yeah, probably that. I didn't have like a favorite coach, and I never really had a favorite college basketball team. It was more like I rooted for the Big Five, so whoever they were playing.
I'm sorry, Sam. What were you saying, Kobe?
I was saying that when it comes to North Carolina, the guard play has made me a little bit nervous. Just if you're thinking about a weak spot on that team, that might be it. I'm not too sure, but yeah, I think that this is probably the best team we've seen in a long time, like you said. And they're missing, arguably, who we thought was going to be their second best player coming into the year, Seth Trimble.
And probably their best perimeter defender.
Right. So definitely excited to see what they look like when he comes back. I assume he'll be adding to what they're doing now, so that's exciting. And yeah, interesting that you said that you think they're underrated. I don't know. We'll see.
Sure. Do you know who their number 1 ranked team is right now?
UConn?
No, not even close. and the AP top 25 is Arizona. And
really?
the coach's poll is Michigan. Yeah.
Who is it?
Michigan.
I thought BYU was good. Did I hear that?
BYU's up there. They're ranked like around 10.
Troy, how did you become a Carolina fan?
Early on, I was not a fan of any team. I was a fan of players. So the first player that I really took to, when I can remember, was Clyde Drexler and Akeem Olajuwon. So I was a big fan of Phi Slamma Jamma.
Yeah. Me too.
Once Akeem left, I really didn't have a team. You remember in high school, everybody's wearing the starter jackets of their team, Syracuse and UCLA and such like
Georgetown.
That. Right. So I wasn't really a fan of any team. There was a time where I wanted Duke to win because I was a big fan of Johnny Dawkins. Love Johnny Dawkins.
Me too.
So there was a time that you were a Duke fan.
There was a time I wanted Duke to win for Johnny Dawkins. That's crazy,
I like Johnny
right?
Dawkins though.
Just say that you were a fan.
No, I just wanted to see Johnny Dawkins win. So that meant
and that was really before. That was before Duke was Duke.
That was around the time Duke became Duke.
They were becoming
Johnny
Duke.
Dawkins. They had Jay Billis, Mark Allery was like their big guy. Tommy Amaker was a point guard. They had a nice squad. And then like the next group of guys was the Christian Laettner and those
Bobby
guys.
Hurley.
Right. But I became a Carolina fan because again, I was a fan of players. I look on Sports Illustrated one day and there's J.R. Reed there, right? And I'm like, oh, and it's like super freshman. I'm like a super freshman. I'm like, oh, let me check him out. And I watch him play, and I loved him. But
I love him too.
again, it goes back to Dean Smith. I started paying more attention. I'm older now. I'm not 12, 13. I'm 16, 17, 18. I'm paying more attention to coaches and how teams play and how coaches handle their squads. And I completely fell in love with Dean Smith. And that was it. That was it for me. And it was one game
So
and it was one particular game, I think it was against Syracuse. This was after Syracuse came off the title game against Indiana. And I turned the game on, and Carolina's down like, I don't know, 10 points with a minute and a half left. And Dean Smith, they scored, they call a timeout. And Dean Smith puts on the run and jump press, gets a steal, scores, calls a timeout. Syracuse comes down, misses a shot. Carolina forces a miss, another turnover. They come down and score. They call a timeout. And I'm like, how the hell does he have all of these timeouts left? They won the game by 2 points without going into overtime. They were down 10 points with a minute and a half left. They win the game, and that was it for me. From that point on, I'm all Carolina. Every game.
I have a couple questions. That's really good stuff. Where does King Rice rank for you as a player? And
as a player,
were you disappointed with J.R. Reed's career, his college career?
Pro career? College career? No, I wasn't disappointed with Reed's college career. Like, listen, he won an ACC title. Listen, they didn't win the championship, but that's fine. Winning the championship is hard in college basketball. Probably harder than any other sport, in my opinion. Because if you have one bad shooting night, that's it. Like, it's one and done. It's tough. No, I wasn't disappointed with J.R. Reed's career. When King Rice went to college, I think we were around the same age. And I used to watch King Rice in college. And no, I'm sorry, I was a senior in high school and he was a freshman in college. And I used to watch him, and you couldn't tell me that I could not take his spot. There's no way you can convince me that I wasn't better than King Rice.
He was so trash.
He used to kill me. He couldn't shoot.
He couldn't jump. He was slow.
He used to be the I don't know if he still is the coach for Monmouth.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. But you know what? He had a lot of demons in Carolina, so I will excuse him.
He was their point guard was he there for 4 years?
He was there for 4 years.
He was running point the whole time.
Yeah, dude. He used to, oh my gosh. You couldn't tell me I wasn't better than him. There's no way in hell.
Yeah, he just seemed, I don't know, but he came out of school hyped. Like he was
Binghamton, right?
Yeah, just
I
the
think
next
I think it's from
thing.
Binghamton.
So yeah. That was good stuff. No good stuff.
Is the reason why you don't watch college basketball is because listen, I know the time that we grew up and watching Big East basketball, that was must see television.
Yeah, I used to skip school. I used to act like I'm sick so I could stay home to watch the Big East tournament.
Big East tournament. It's
like, and the start of the NCAA tournament, I was like fake. My mom might be listening to this podcast, but I used to act like I was sick so I could just stay home and watch it. The turning point for me was probably when high school students really started coming into the NBA. It just seemed like college was kind of watered down. When they were doing all the one and dones.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
I mean, can you imagine, Troy? Like Ewing went to college for 4 years. Patrick Ewing went to college for 4 years.
Kobe, like you have to imagine, and Drew, like watching Big East basketball during
going
that
to
time.
college for 4 years.
Every team, Georgetown, at the time it was Georgetown, Syracuse, Villanova, St. John's, Providence, Boston College. Did I say Villanova?
Seton Hall.
That's where Chuck went, right? But like the top and Pitt,
Okay.
every weekend, the matchups were must see, and I mean every single matchup. Didn't matter if it was Villanova versus Pitt, Georgetown versus Syracuse, St. John versus Syracuse, Georgetown, and Pitt. It didn't matter. Every matchup was must see television, and it never failed. It never failed to entertain. Yeah, I mean, just the star power that the Big East had at that time was just, I've never seen any conference have that much star power.
Well, the ACC had it. ACC had it.
I don't think so. I don't think to the extent of the Big East. When you talk about
maybe
Pearl
not,
Washington,
but, you look at those teams, North Carolina.
Listen,
Duke,
I'm talking about the individual players. The teams are one thing, but the individual players on those teams.
You don't think?
No.
You don't think like Georgia Tech?
No.
You don't think so?
Not during that time.
NC State
during that time. During that time, no.
Okay.
You think about it. They in the 1984 Final Four, there were three Big East teams.
Three Big East teams. Yeah. But I guess my point was like you have men, like more developed players who were in college longer, and it was just a better product.
Yes. Much better product.
Yeah. So that's it. I kind of thought drifted away. I think I hate to say it, like the really. And I was joking before, but like the Tim Duncan, Tim Duncan stayed for 4 years, guys.
For 4 years.
Tim Duncan, he stayed for 4 years in college. When he came out, like that's when you start seeing like the one and dones. 4 years, Tim Duncan.
And Kobe, he was almost a Sixer.
We'll talk about that in another thing. Oh my God, so
Iverson.
close.
Oh my gosh.
That was awesome.
Speaking of Iverson.
Speaking about.
Drew, we have a
pop culture update. We do. It's not about Allen Iverson, but it is. We do have a pop culture update. So I want to say around early December, earlier in the week, Quinta Brunson, the star of Abbott Elementary, is launching a fund to provide free field trips to a bunch of students in Philly. So I thought that was pretty interesting. So the fund aims to cover field trip costs for over 115,000 Philly public school students, opening access to the city's museums and historic landmarks. Abbott Elementary star creator and star Quinta Brunson is teaming up with the school district of Philadelphia to create a fund to provide free school trips to students. The Quinta Brunson Field Trip Fund launched on Giving Tuesday and will raise money to provide free field trips for schools, giving students from underserved communities greater access to out-of-classroom experiences, according to a release. In a statement, Brunson, a Philadelphia native, said field trips were some of the most memorable parts of her education growing up. So I think it's great that we have someone, a native Philadelphia, to keep continuing contributing to the city. Abbott Elementary is pretty good show. So check it out and check out her. And check out her her campaign, guys. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I will. I definitely will.
Yeah. That's
Troy,
awesome.
where did you go for field trips when you were in elementary school?
Philadelphia Mint.
Yep.
Liberty Bell.
Yep.
Franklin
Museum.
The Art Museum. Which one?
Did you go to the Franklin Institute?
The Franklin Institute. We never went to the. I don't remember going to the Art Museum.
I don't think we never
did that. Yeah. The Mint, Franklin Institute, and Betsy Ross House, Liberty Bell.
Betsy Ross House, yeah.
Yeah.
Independence Hall. I think we were there.
Independence Hall, the zoo.
Yeah.
Philadelphia Zoo.
Yeah.
Good times.
Good times.
Yeah.
Wait,
when you guys went to these field trips, was it by via horse and buggy?
You think that's funny?
was a
It
good
was
one,
my
Drew.
coach. Yes.
That wasn't a no.
Drew, and not that old, Drew.
Not that old. We had electric cars
I
back
mean,
then.
we did listen to
Philly's pretty old.
Marriages.
Philly's pretty old.
listen, we did listen to 8 tracks on the way to the zoo, but
Mm.
they don't even know what an 8-track is. They're like, what are they talking about?
Yeah, I know.
What they talking about? They talk about nothing. What they talking about? They talk about nothing.
Let me ask you a question, Colby, and Chuck too, and Drew. If you watch college basketball, who's the greatest college basketball player you've ever seen?
Melo.
Melo?
You didn't.
That's,
You watched
that's
him?
good.
No, but
Well,
I'll say it's Melo. But I'll say
Oh.
it's Melo.
Well, you have to.
He had,
I
he
hate
had,
to
he
say
had one
it.
of the best seasons.
Who's
He
that?
Yeah,
won
one of
against
Melo. He had one of the best seasons I've ever seen. Carmelo Anthony. I'm not gonna say he's the greatest player, but he definitely had one of the best
my
seasons.
my favorite player was Per Washington and Patrick Ewing.
He played for Syracuse.
For Washington.
But the best player, you
Yeah.
have to say, in our lifetime, Troy, is Christian Laettner. You have to say it. I know
That's a
you don't
good
want to say it,
Um,
but he's the greatest college basketball player of our lifetime.
I don't agree with that.
Say it.
I don't think so. I don't think so. Listen, he played on one of the best teams. He was the best
championships, he has the
player.
numbers.
He was the best player on one of the best teams, but
He was the
I-
best
okay,
player
I-
on the best team.
okay, wait a minute. We're confusing my question. I said, who is your favorite player
My favorite player is Per Washington.
for Washington? Okay. And what about you, son?
I thought you said, who do you think is the best college basketball
Oh,
player?
maybe I did. Maybe I did. Yeah, so give me your favorite and who you think is the best.
My favorite is Tyler Hansbrough, who could also arguably be the best college basketball player I've seen,
Mhm,
considering he went 4 years and all the accolades that he built up.
mhm.
Undefeated in Cameron Indoor Stadium. But there's definitely somebody more skilled than him that I've seen. That's a good question.
How about you, Troy?
That's a good question. Zion would be up there.
Zion. My favorite player might be, like, I want to say Jerry Stackhouse. How much I loved him in Carolina. But I gotta be honest with you, like, I would cut class, or not cut class. Yeah, I would. Like, I would cut my class short to go home and watch like a 9 o'clock LSU game to watch Chris Jackson.
Chris
Chris
Jackson.
Jackson.
Interesting. Yeah.
He was my favorite,
thinking
I
that.
think, to watch. I think the best player to me was Larry Johnson. Larry Johnson, to me, that was the first time I watched a player and I was like, I finally understand when a person says he's a man amongst boys. Watching Larry Johnson play at UNLV, he was a man amongst boys. He was just, you couldn't do anything with him. He could do anything he wanted to do on the court. No one could do anything about it. And he was a man. He was chiseled. He could jump. He
But
could shoot.
are you saying he's your favorite, or was he's the best player?
No,
you've seen?
he's the best player I've seen.
You think he's better than like Ewing?
Yeah, I thought he could do. He was a more well-rounded player. Listen, Ewing got a lot better when he got to the NBA. Ewing was not like a jump shooting center. He was more or less. Listen, I'll get the ball on the post. I'll drop step, dunk, hook shot. He's not shooting 15-footers.
Yeah,
He was
but
more
you always.
defensive.
Yeah,
He was more of a
I
defensive
thought it was
player
always
than
there
offensive.
though.
Huh?
I thought it was always there. I thought it was like he was surrounded by a talented team. I thought it was
Who?
he could do more. He just didn't.
Who, Ewing or LJ?
Yeah.
Ewing.
LJ was surrounded by great players too.
Yeah. To me as a player, I just thought it was LJ, and just the way he dominated when he was on the court. Like every time he stepped on the court, you could say he was the best player. You really couldn't say that with Ewing. There were times where Ralph Sampson was there were a couple times where they played, and it was kind of a toss up between Ewan and Sam Perkins when they went up.
You're going too
Yeah,
far
listen,
now.
Sam Perkins was good. He was a good player.
Meh.
So.
You can say Worthy was good.
Worthy was the best player on that squad
He was good.
by far.
I like the Chris Jackson though. I like that one.
All right, I want to ask you guys something.
Go at it.
Dad, I want you to make your all-time ACC starting five. Chuck, I want you to make your all-time Big East starting five.
That's easy.
You want to go first? Or you have yours already?
I go first. Obviously, it's Ewing in the middle. You have Chris Mullin, Carmelo Anthony, Pro Washington, and Allen Iverson.
You put Allen up there?
Absolutely.
Would you put him over Derek Coleman?
Well,
nice.
Even if I got rid of I was trying to build a team. Coleman probably should be on that team.
What was it? It was Ewan, Mullen,
Melo,
Carmelo.
See, I don't. Even though Carmelo won, I don't think I would put him over. God, that's tough. I'm not gonna argue with you.
Careful with the Melo slander.
What's that?
I said, careful with the Melo slander. Melo slander would be tolerated in this podcast.
I can see DC on that list though.
Yeah, he definitely be like a 6 man. He was good.
Yeah, definitely see that. Well, if you don't think AI should be there, who do you think should be in the backcourt?
No, I guess that's fair. That's fair. I mean, he was 2-time Big East Player of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year too.
He won Defensive Player of the Year in the Big East.
2 years, yeah.
Yeah,
he was tough.
Yeah.
ACC, it would be Leitner.
How do you not lead off with Jordan?
Well, no, I mean, listen, I'm just going from like big man down to the guards. Yeah. It would be Leitner, Len Bias, Worthy, Jordan, and
your favorite. You got to put your favorite on there.
Who was that?
Johnny Dawkins.
No, as a point, no, he wasn't. He wasn't the point.
I know who your point guard is.
Ed Cota? No, Ed Cota was nice, man. He was my favorite. Yes, he was, dude. He was my favorite Carolina point guard. So wow, it's tough. Point guard, you had Mark Price,
Kenny Anderson was Stephon
Marbury. I might have to go.
You could go more modern. You could think.
Who are you thinking? Ray Felton? I mean, Ty Lawson?
No. I don't. Yeah, I don't know.
Kyrie.
Say Phil Ford. I thought you were going to say Kyrie.
I didn't really see Phil Ford play. I'm just naming players that I saw.
Oh, okay.
I didn't really see Phil Ford play. I was too young. But I guess I would say Jay Williams. Jay Williams and Michael Jordan in the backcourt. Worthy, Len Bias, and Leitner.
I think I'm taking Johnny Dawkins over Jay Will. Oh, what about Bobby Hurley?
Chris Paul?
No.
He's only here for 1 year.
No, he was there for 2 years, I think.
Oh, he was there 2 years ago. Why not Bobby Hurley? You still like him?
No. I like the Hurleys. I hated Hurley at Duke. And you know what? That's tough. I may not have a point guard because I'd have Michael Jordan as I have Michael Jordan at the 1 and Grant Hill at the 2.
Oh, okay, yeah. There we go.
It would be Jordan, Grant Hill, Worthy, Len Bias, and Leitner.
That's a squad.
That would be it.
That's a squad right there.
Yeah, I like that. Who would win that matchup, Big East or ACC?
Well, now that you put Grant Hill in the backcourt.
Allen Iverson's gonna have a job on his hands.
Yeah, I might have to give it to the ACC.
Wait,
They're
who
gonna have
is
to
your
deal with
point?
him.
Oh, Pearl was your point. Yeah, Pearl.
Pearl and Iverson, that's a small backcourt, dude.
It's a small backcourt, but listen, like they're going to be held to try to handle. Like who's
Dude,
you know,
I love Pearl
Iverson's running
Washington.
around. He was
I
no,
love
he was
Pearl
so
Washington.
nice. He was so good.
It was so good. Oh my god. So,
I'm gonna have to play that one out on 2K one day.
No. You could play it on What If Sports. You guys ever hear of What If Sports?
no.
It's a website where you can pit teams of any era in any sport against each other, and the computer will play out a whole game, play by play, everything.
Why am I just hearing about this now?
I don't know.
Is it like
I
AI?
sent it- Huh?
Is it
What did you
AI?
say? It's
Is
not
it AI?
because no, it's not AI because it's been around for years. It's been around for like 10, 15 years. It's awesome.
Yeah, we're gonna have to play around with that
Mm.
for sure. But going from college basketball talk, fellas, to some NBA talk, being a quarter of the way into the NBA season, we're gonna talk some Sixers. 23 games in, Sixers are 13-10. We're on a 3-game winning streak before bowing out to the Los Angeles Lakers Sunday night,
And go James.
and LeBron James, who
Sheesh.
pretty much single-handedly at the end won that game for the Lakers.
Drew, did you watch that game, Drew?
We don't talk about Mr. LeBron James. in this
Drew,
podcast.
did you watch the game?
I don't need to watch the game to know that the Sixers
Did you-
can only be talked about to
Listen,
me
did you
during
watch the game? Because during the closing of that game, I blamed one person for what was going on, and that's you. I blamed you for throwing mud on LeBron James's name, and he comes out and he destroys us at 41 years old. Listen, I'm not.
I think
rooting
that was
for LeBron
off
James.
camera anyway. I don't even remember.
I don't care if this man wins another game. I don't care. The last thing I want to see him is to drop 29 points as a 41-year-old on my squad. Like he basically killed us.
Yeah.
Killed us.
Well, yeah.
And no,
after-
Kelly Oubre would not have stopped him from scoring, Chuck. I'm sorry. Kelly Oubre would have went right along with the rest of his team and getting abused and
And
served.
you know what, Troy? Troy, you know what? You know what? I will still say, even after that L, LeBron is still like the 20th best player ever to play the game. You
Troy,
beat
let
the
me ask you a question.
Sixers. You beat the Sixers. Respectfully, ooh, bars.
Listen, I didn't want him to beat the Sixers. I didn't want him to beat the Sixers. I'm not on this. I'm not in his camp. All right. I want to see my team.
But
win.
you sound like you're in line though. Sound like you in line though.
No,
to
I
sign
did,
up.
but I do. I will call it how I see it. It may not be how everybody else sees it, but I'm going to call it how I see it.
All
Well,
I'm
I-
saying is,
Before we turn this into a LeBron podcast, this is a couple things.
Okay.
I'll give him his flowers. He did his thing. Kelly would have been on that. He wouldn't have went off for 10 points in a row if Kelly was in the game. I'll tell you that.
Okay.
I was encouraged, believe it or not, by Embiid. He was missing the shots, but those shots those shots are coming. He'll make those shots eventually.
Mhm.
But he was moving, like Lakers play fast, and he seemed to be okay at that tempo. So we had the games he was out when we were playing Atlanta and we were playing Orlando and we
Mhm.
were playing Miami. I'm watching this game. I was like, where's Embiid going to fit in these games? Can he like play fast? Can he guard fast? Can he guard someone who's like, I don't know, around the 3-point line? He seemed to be moving well. He rebounded a little bit better. But he seemed to be moving okay, and he seemed to be making a difference on both ends of the court. It does seem like when a ball goes to him, it stops. It doesn't move as
Mhm.
much.
Yeah.
But if that's the coach needs to work that out. I think Maxey needs to move the ball a bit more too. Maxey kind of just does a lot of one-on-one, but I have no harsh words for Maxey. But I was encouraged by Embiid. So let's see. I know they got a long stretch. We're only playing a couple games in 2 weeks. So if we get some rest and he's playing, he needs to get in a groove. Those shots he were missing, he knocks those down all the time.
What
The
about?
other thing,
I also think
Go ahead.
go
I
ahead,
also
I'm
think
sorry.
to that, Chuck, he was motivated to play in this game against the Lakers, against LeBron, JJ, coming
Yeah.
back to Philly. I think he really wanted to play in this game too
Yeah.
and play well.
I mean, so are you saying that because you don't think
No,
this is an
I
anomaly
think
where
two
he won't
things.
be
I
he
think
won't be
two
in,
things
like-
can be. I think two things can be true. I think that I didn't watch the game, but I think that two things can be true.
Okay. Yeah, I think it was. The crowd was great. Troy, did you watch the game?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, I
did.
thought the crowd was great. There was a lot of
Crowd was
LeBron
awesome.
fans there. The
Mhm.
Sixers fans were loud and cheering on the team. It was I thought it was a really good. You felt the buzz, even on TV. You felt the buzz.
Yeah, it was a
But
great atmosphere.
I just thought Embiid in that type of tempo looked like he could play, like he would be effective in that type of environment. His shots weren't falling, but Troy, you would admit, like, it just was a little like a timing. You can't like be off for a week or like
and that's
sporadically play games and come in and have
correct.
your jump shot going.
Correct. And to me, that's where my argument comes back into play, where they don't want to play him on a back-to-back or 2 games in 3 nights. Why not? You don't have to play him 30 minutes each game. Let him play 10 minutes a game in one of those games.
Yeah.
Just to keep his rhythm.
Yep.
Just to keep his heartbeat going, right? After a week or 2 weeks, a week and a half, 2 weeks, up that 10-minute game to 15 minutes.
Yep.
And just continue on with that until now he's playing back-to-back games and he's playing 25 minutes one game, he's playing 35 minutes the next.
Yeah.
I don't see
think
a
he has to
problem with
start
that.
either. Why can't he play in the third or fourth quarter?
Probably.
Why does he have to start the game? But Troy, I think a lot of that has to do with Embiid. I think if Embiid doesn't want to play, he's not going to play. I think right now, even though it's Maxey's team, Maxey's the star, they should be catering to him. I think Embiid still has like a grip on like management and the trainers, and if he doesn't want to play, he's not going to play.
Yeah.
Or if he wants to
You may
play,
be
that's
right.
why they got fined, because they ruled him out. It seems like he just walked into the stadium, said, "I want to play," so they let him play, and the Sixers get fined for it. So
That's
I
when
don't know.
what? That's when I would have said no. I said no, you can't play. We have you out. We're not going to get fined. And if you want to start playing this game and you really want to play, then listen, you got to be more intentional with being on the court. I don't think he's intentional at all. Like to your point, to Kobe's point, he wanted to play against the Lakers, right? But he didn't want to play against. Did he play against Washington? When was the last game before
No,
that?
that last game he played was November 9th before the Lakers game.
Ridiculous. That's
No, he
ridiculous.
played before.
No, it's not. No, he played. He played. I thought he played after November 9th.
He
He
did.
didn't.
He played before that game. He played.
Yeah.
I forgot what game he played. Well, he played in the game. Remember when everyone was back and it was like
He has played.
He's played.
Yeah. So I mean,
it hasn't been that long.
I just think he needs to be a little bit more intentional with his play. Right? He's got. Chuck, you could be right. It could be Embiid saying that I'm going to play when I want to play, but listen, he's got to stop babying himself now.
I think that is what it is. I don't
Like
think it's anything
the
other.
organization. The organization has babied him his whole career, and that's what he used to be. He still wants to be babied. Listen, I get it. The guy, he's injury prone. He's trying to prevent. Listen, more than anything, I will never call Embiid soft. Right, the man has played through too many injuries during the playoffs for me to call him soft, right?
I agree.
And maybe
I
he
agree.
just wants to get to the playoffs and it's 90% of what he normally could be or what he potentially could be, right? And that's fair. Like I get it. I understand. But dude,
Troy, it
like
is fair, but
you can't do that when the playoffs start. Like you got to start ramping up at some point in time, right? So to
Yeah.
me, you're off. But you know what? They're off for the next. They have one game in the next 11 days or something like that. Two games in the next 11 days. Maybe he's like, all right, let me just get through this little stretch and I'll start ramping up. I don't know. I don't know. I hope to see him more on the court. That's all. Along with Paul George too.
Troy, to your point, like I think he does think he's helping he'll be helping the team in long term if he like does this regimen of like sporadically playing. I think in his head he thinks I just need to like slowly get back into the groove and I'll be okay. One, he's getting a little
Mhm.
older, so I don't know if that's gonna happen as quickly. The other thing is I think it's hurting the team. You're not cohesive. Like when is Nick Nurse gonna like have like a regular rotation? When are like these
He's
other
not.
players gonna get used to playing with Embiid? When is Embiid gonna be used to playing with them?
It's not going to happen. It's not going to
That's
happen.
why I love your idea of like playing him like, okay, we have a back to back. We're gonna pay you for 10 minutes. So you're gonna like just know your teammates.
It really makes
I
too
love
much
that
sense.
idea.
Yeah, I haven't heard anybody else say that.
Mhm.
It's like what I do with my clients, like personal training in the gym. Like you're not going to start off working out 3-4 times a week, but one time a week this week for the next 4 weeks, then 2 times a week, for the next 4 weeks. Like slowly, gradually up the workload. It makes too much sense.
Yeah. The other thing I want to say, and it hurts my heart to say this, but LeBron James is really good.
I don't understand. I don't understand why it would hurt anyone's heart.
But
like you got people. I need to understand why
no,
people don't
Troy. Let me
like them.
finish. And then
Okay,
you
go ahead.
hold that thought. Hold that thought.
Okay, go.
It seems like basketball is so easy to LeBron and Luka. For most, like for a lot of basketball NBA players, it's the games is so easy for them, and I think a lot has to do with the fact that the game is not as physical as it was before. I think they need to figure out something to make the game not as easy. It like the game looks just Luka could do anything he wanted. At no point like did I think he was getting a shot off and they were going in. I thought maybe like if the Sixers don't win this game, Luka, they're not stopping Luka. Luka's gonna have to stop himself. Like he's gonna just have to like have a bad shooting night or something. But it looks so easy for him. And even LeBron at 41 years old, I think a lot has to do with LeBron staying around so long is that the game is just not as physical as it was. It just seems too easy for a lot of players.
But like,
And
I mean, you're talking about.
I wish they would do
You're
something
talking
to
about
like
players,
make it a little
but
harder.
you're talking about two players with very high basketball IQ.
Yep.
So like I can't say that the game seems easy for everyone. It doesn't seem easy for Quentin Grimes. It seems like he's having a
Why
hard
does he
time out
shoot
there.
like it's 1 second left on the shot clock all the time?
Everything with him is I need to do this as fast as possible before the coach yanks me out.
I never noticed
And the
that.
coach never yanks him out. He moves so fast on the court. I've never seen anything like it in my life. But like the game, the game seems easy for certain players, but not for everyone. I mean, listen,
A lot of players, the game.
I think the longevity
Maybe not
thing,
at that level, Troy. Not at that level. But
Mhm.
the games is, and I think it's this lack of physicality. I think the games is too easy for the players to just evolve to a point where they can shoot. Anyone can shoot from three. I think they need to push the 3-point line back and also
that I would love to see.
let the game get a little bit more physical.
I would love to see them push the 3-point line back. The game getting more physical. Listen, we did that, and we were watching final games that were scored in the 60s. I don't think anybody wants to
I
see
didn't
that
really
anymore.
mind it.
Yeah,
The six. That's a little.
come on,
that's a-
it's ridiculous, man. The Chicago Bulls and Utah Jazz had final games that were like 68-65.
No, they didn't. No, they didn't.
Look it up. Look it up. Look it up.
There was. there wasn't
And Jordan had like a third of their points. Or half their points.
Well, yeah, he would have half their points, and I guarantee today. And again, this is not a LeBron Jordan thing. If Jordan played in this less physical league, so he would average 40 easy. It's you. It's so.
I
Troy,
don't
So
I
sorry.
don't listen.
Why is
Go
it so hard for you to accept that LeBron is like?
I don't want to make this a Jordan LeBron thing. I don't want to make this a
No,
Jordan.
go ahead.
No,
Go ahead.
It's not a Jordan
Elite.
LeBron thing. Just a LeBron thing. Just a LeBron thing.
Uh-huh,
Why is it
so
wrong to say that he's like the 20th best player in the league? Why is that so wrong? Why is it hard for you to accept?
it's not wrong to say. You
Why
can
is
say
that
all you
wrong?
want.
Why is that wrong to say though? To ever play, not in the league, but
it's
ever
not-
to ever play, to like
it's
ever
not
play.
wrong to
It's not wrong.
say.
It's insane.
Okay.
It's an insane
It's
thing
not
to say.
it's not wrong to say you have
I'll
every
give him
right
number
to say that.
15. I'll
Okay,
put him at 15.
you have Drew, listen, it's not wrong to say you have every right to say it. But you know, when you come out of the mental asylum for saying it, you know, you can't be upset if people want you to go right back in. Okay.
I will give him his flowers for breaking Kareem's scoring record. I will give him his flowers for getting that third gold medal.
But why?
Right.
Here's what I don't
I
understand.
will give him his flowers. I'll give him his flowers
As
for
a,
that.
as a
I'll give him his
basketball-
flowers for his time in Miami. I would
Oh, we
say
can't
I
go
was.
with
It
it.
may have been a
We're
LeBron
doing it
fan, and when he was in Miami, but just to call him king, I can't do that.
as a
Just like you can't
basketball
wear a
fan,
jerseys, another man's jersey. I can't call LeBron king. I just can't.
that's fair. You don't have to. You don't have to. But you sound like a crazy man when you say he's the 20th best player ever.
And I'm not saying everyone else is crazy. I'm just saying they're wrong.
Right.
That calling
Okay.
him your king. That's all.
Well, you guys that have listened to the podcast, you know the rules. When the conversation gets into a Jordan LeBron debate, that's our cue to end the show. So that's what we're going to do, guys, unless there is anything else we'd like to add before getting out of here. Thank you guys for tuning in to our second YouTube Live. Make sure that you stay tuned for our preview of Eagles Raiders later this week and more content across YouTube and Instagram. Let us know what you think. Keep following the show, and we'll be back with more content.
Take it easy, fellas.